today we're going to talk about open educational resources. I'm going to share some information about the OER project here on campus, and I'm going to talk about a few ways that you can get involved if you're interested, and then we'll take a few minutes to explore some OER resources that are available to you. Who's heard of OER? Awesome. Does anyone want to take a shot at what it is?
Educational resources that are in the public domain, available for use, and that a user can change.
Yeah, that's a super thorough definition. Stands for open educational resources, and like Phil said, you can freely use them for learning and teaching and research. Here's a few examples of different types of OER. So that piece that Phil mentioned about OER being reusable is really important, because the idea is that you can take an openly available textbook and say change the images so that they're more relevant to your students, or rearrange the chapters. In fact, that kind of activity is sort of encouraged by OER. It's sort of like a build and create and recreate model. So that's kind of interesting. OER are free, we can use them. Why does it matter? So this graph shows the change in textbook prices since 1978. They are skyrocketing at a higher rate than medical prices and prices for new homes, and just the current rate of inflation. And we know what that does to our students. It often means that they don't buy the textbooks. The U.S. Public Interest Group in 2014 reported that many students won't purchase the textbook because of the price, and obviously they suffer academically because of this, right? They don't have the course material, so they can't do the reading. But OER is an opportunity to solve this problem because the material is free online and affordable if the student wants to, for example, print it off. And then the students can take that money and throw it towards their probably staggering student debt, or use it for technology or improving their learning in some other way, or maybe just eating. So the SUNY system has provided funding to the SUNY campuses, seed funding for the adoption and creation of OER. So we've been given $20,000 as a startup, and there's the potential that we'll receive some more funding over the next few years. Additionally, we can earn up to 15 more per student in courses that utilize more than 51% OER for their materials. And then that money goes towards faculty development for OER. There's an Office of SUNY OER Services, and they provide support and consultation for creating or adopting OER. And additionally, we're investigating different print services. So for example, if a faculty member is using a digital OER, but they really want their students, or the students really want to have a printed copy, they're working on ways to find a sort of cheaper, low-cost print copy. Just some quick math: if you have a class of 25 students and the textbook is $120, if you stop using that and choose an OER, then you can save the students over $3,000, which really adds up. And additionally, campus gets $375 to fund faculty support. These are just a few examples of courses on campus here at Potsdam that are already utilizing OER. So this is exciting. This project is already moving forward on campus. So if you're interested in learning more or getting involved with this project, you can contact me or Alan Hersker or Jim Hubbard in the libraries. Additionally, in the spring, you'll see a call for volunteers for a working group. We're assembling a faculty working group to sort of lead the OER initiative and plan a sort of long-term sustainability for it on campus. So volunteer for that if you're interested. I've listed 2 resources here. One is our library website. We've created a page that has some more information about OER. And then another is the SUNY OER services website. And I just want to take a few minutes and look at each of these sites. They're overwhelmingly full of information, but I'm just going to point out a few things that might be interesting and helpful to you. So this is the SUNY OER services website. You can actually browse some of the SUNY open textbooks here if you're interested, but two things I want to focus on. If you mouse over SUNY OER services and go to information for faculty, there's a nice brief primer on the OER project at the SUNY level, as well as a little more information about OER themselves and sort of the things that you can do with them. Additionally, if you go under requests, I was mentioning their consultation service. They have a form that you can fill out if maybe you're just a little curious about OER in your subject area, but you need some help finding resources, or just want to talk to someone about ways that you can get started. This is a great resource. Of course, you can contact Jim or Alan or I, but this service is specifically catered to the faculty needs. And then the next is the library OER website. Just go to our library website, click on this tab on the right side that says faculty, and at the bottom there's a link for open educational resources. Want to get started? Where to start is again a little overview. I like this because it sort of asks you to think about, well, are there any OER in my field? If you don't know that, then where to get started is you start searching. Or if you have the time and resources to create new OER, then this is sort of a good starting place to figure that out. And then there's also a little more information. This is similar to the information on the SUNY OER website. And then the other helpful link, I think, is this Find OER. And it's just a list to several OER repositories. And they're organized by textbooks and sort of other OER. Two things. So one is called Open Textbook Library. This is basically a repository of openly available textbooks. And you can browse by subject. If we look at one, you'll see a page like this for each book. And what I find is really helpful is that you can see immediately how you are able to use this book. So one concern I've heard a lot is, well, I don't know about the licensing for this content, or if I can download it or reuse it or whatever I can do to it. A lot of these repositories will have these licenses and their information included. And most OER are licensed under what is known as Creative Commons. And so these licenses they're standardized, and when you see one, you can sort of know that it has these certain rights based on the Creative Commons framework. The other tool you may not be aware of is another one provided by SUNY OER services, and it's through Lumen Learning. And again, this is another repository of OER, but the cool thing about this one is that you can integrate it automatically into Moodle. So if you see something, like say you're teaching an American literature course, and you're reading Song of Myself, and maybe you want to take this video and just throw it into Moodle. You can do that sort of through a connection between Lumen Learning and Moodle. You don't have to tediously copy and paste things into your course. So I find that really helpful. There's a real variety of content here. If you have questions about using Moodle and integrating Lumen into it, the CCI has that support for you, so you can contact them. So that's all I have for my presentation. Thank you for coming.